Good Monday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to today's top news stories, let's take a peek outside that weather window. And to start off our work week, really not a bad weather day today as we look down at the beautiful Cashmere area from our Sky-Fi tower camera up that way. And you can see things are greening up nicely. The hills are green. Just looks beautiful out there and a nice day today after a pretty decent day yesterday as well. We'll see a good weather day for Tuesday, and then things will kind of take a little blip on Wednesday. We'll see a little weak cold front move through Wednesday. That'll bring us a lot of clouds and a decent chance for rain on Wednesday, as well as plenty of wind. But after that, we might see temperatures in the 80s, and we'll talk more weather coming up a little bit later on. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. An 18-year-old Wenatchee woman is in jail tonight after allegedly attacking another woman with a knife early Sunday. 10 horses were killed in a fire early Saturday morning near Royal City. And as Washington begins reopening its state parks and lands Tuesday, the Grant County PUD says it's not yet ready to follow suit. But first we begin tonight. U.S. Representative Dan Newhouse says it's time for Washington Governor Jay Inslee to take more decisive action toward reopening Washington businesses. Inslee on Friday announced a 4-phased approach to reopening businesses over the next several weeks. Newhouse praised Inslee's initial handling of the pandemic, but said the stakes are too high for what he called a slow walk back to normalcy.
I think there's some inconsistencies. I was one that was very vocal in encouraging the governor to open, for instance, the residential construction industry, and has since taken steps to do that, and I think that was a very positive thing. Some construction was allowed. Some of the public projects in the state, for instance, the State Convention Center or the new hockey arena, work was continuing, but private construction projects were shut down, and I thought that was inconsistent. You know, that if a construction worker can be safe on one type of job, they should be able to be safe on another kind of job. And I think there was inconsistencies in the kind of retail locations that have been allowed to be deemed essential and open. It doesn't seem logical or consistent to me that you can have a major national retailer be open and sell furniture or clothing or any number of items when a locally owned small business on Main Street in one of our small towns in Washington State can't be open. You can practice the same kinds of social distancing and all of those other things to keep people safe in a small store as you can in a large store. So I think that there needs to be some more a harder look at allowing some of these things to occur and happen. I think, like I said, I give people a lot of credit for being responsible, and now that we know way more than we did a couple of months ago on what needs to happen, the habits that we need to make sure are ingrained in everybody's daily activities, I think we can do that, and we can allow the economy to begin reopening at a faster pace.
In other news, an 18-year-old Wenatchee woman is in jail tonight after allegedly attacking another woman with a knife early Sunday. Taylor Nicole Henderson faces possible charges of first-degree assault and methamphetamine possession after her arrest about 1 a.m. Police say they were called for a report of a disturbance near the intersection of Peachy and Cashmere Streets and then found the victim, who's also 18, with 2 stab wounds to the leg that were not life-threatening. They later arrested Henderson at an apartment in the 700 block of Walker Street. She allegedly stabbed the woman during a dispute involving gang membership. The victim was treated for her injuries and released. 10 horses were killed in a fire early Saturday morning near Royal City. The Grant County Sheriff's Office says the fire destroyed a 60 by 120-foot barn that was located on Dodson Road Southwest about 4:30 a.m. The building was engulfed in flames by the time crews from Grant County Fire District 10 and 11 arrived. The cause of that fire is under investigation. Well, as Washington begins reopening its state parks and lands on Tuesday, the Grant PUD says it's not ready to follow suit. The PUD said it's still evaluating whether they will reopen their 20 recreation sites and boat launches on the Columbia River. The PUD said it is currently focused on keeping its mission-critical systems functioning and on employee and public health. When the facilities were closed on March 27th, the PUD said it would make its reopening decisions consistent with what the state does with its recreation sites. Well, coming up next, Confluence Health has put out a call for volunteers to sew 5,000 masks for patients visiting their facilities. The Cashmere Bridge project got underway today and will keep the bridge closed down until fall. And the Trump administration wants to open up about 2 million acres across the U.S. for more hunting and fishing, including a section of the Leavenworth National Fish Hatchery. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
The Sangster Motors showroom in Wenatchee continues to be closed temporarily. But did you know that if you're involved in an accident, it's still possible to buy a new vehicle? If you find yourself in that situation, reach out to Sangster Motors and they'll have someone available to help. The service department at Sangster Motors remains open in the event you need a repair. By using the latest guidelines, they can keep you and their staff safe. Pickup and drop off is easy. Call 662-6134.
We appreciate all your business. We appreciate all your support. Everybody stay healthy and God bless you.
Owner Andrew Vickery brings years of experience to help you transition your backyard into a place where memories are made, family time is looked forward to, and friends are always welcome. Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa offers many different styles and sizes of artesian spas, both new and used, as well as residential and commercial pool and spa services, regular maintenance and repairs, and all the chemicals required to keep your pool and spa crystal clear. Stop on by Blue Lagoon Pool and Spa today. Coming home should never be a chore. Let Merry Maids of Wenatchee customize all your cleaning needs. Weekly, bi-weekly, special occasion. Do you have a vacation home that needs cleaning? We clean them too. Locally owned and operated, let Merry Maids do the cleaning while you focus on your family and friends. Merry Maids has special offers to fit your budget. Request your free cleaning estimate today. 509-663-1710.
Welcome back. In another news, Confluence Health has put out a call for volunteers to sew 5,000 masks for patients visiting their facilities. Confluence will begin offering more services this week, including elective surgeries at Central Washington Hospital, and requires all visitors to wear a mask. The hospital has been geared up for a surge in COVID-19 patients, but it's now transitioning to more normal operations. Confluence will reimburse the cost of those materials. To drop off masks or inquire about reimbursements, call the Confluence Health Foundation, and that number is 436-6275. Well, today marks the first day Cashmere travelers will have to do without the Goodwin Road Bridge. The 91-year-old bridge on Cashmere's west end is closed for the foreseeable future, while its replacement is built nearby. There will also be some traffic adjustments during the project to remove power lines and make other changes. The work is expected to run into the autumn and cost about $25 million. Meanwhile, the Trump administration wants to open up about 2 million acres across the U.S. for more hunting and fishing, including a section of the Leavenworth National Fish Hatchery. The hatchery manages about 800 acres of high mountain land around Snow Lakes and Notta Lake. That's far from the main headquarters outside Leavenworth. Much of the federal land in the Fish and Wildlife proposal would be new hunting ground, but Leavenworth hatchery managers say their area has been open for hunting ever since it was established back in 1939. The new rule would simply make that situation official. The measure is open for public comment. You can give your input at the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service's website. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Please stay with us.
You want to help others. You need a solid career. You can have both with help from Charter College. Our 10-month medical assistant program prepares you to work in healthcare settings like physician offices, rehab centers, and clinics. You'll learn to take vitals, assist with exams, administer injections, and maintain records. When you're ready to launch a rewarding healthcare career, stop by our campus at 595 Grant Road across from Safeway or visit chartercollege.edu.
AC Checker has new owners who put customer service first. When you have to get there on time, call fast, friendly, reliable AC Checker, 663-TAXI. AC Checker has the industry's only on-time or it's free guarantee. Conditions apply. Call AC Checker, 663-TAXI to schedule your cab or schedule online at acchecker.com. Call American Classic Taxi, 663-TAXI. That's 663-8294.
I'm Tom from Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. At Alpine Air, we think of ourselves as customer service-oriented retailers. When you make an appointment, please visit our store, meet our people, see our shop. We are serious about heating and air conditioning. Carrier and Alpine Air are offering huge factory rebates and financing options for all your needs. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Call for your free replacement estimate. Heat and air, call Alpine Air, 662-6846.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. Advocates for the Wenatchee Valley's immigrant community fear they could be left behind during this COVID-19 crisis. In tonight's feature story, the group Wenatchee for Immigrant Justice has been fundraising to help local immigrant families during the pandemic. Two of its organizers joined NCWLIFE's Jefferson Robbins to explain how the group is helping.
It started officially in July of 2019. And since then, they have done nothing but amazing work. Some of the first projects that they did was to accompany to courts, especially in the Grand County area, since that's where a lot of detaining was happening at the time. A lot of our community immigrant neighbors, a lot of people have been laid off due to what's happening. And for a lot of our, because I mentioned they're immigrant communities, so they don't have any resources that they can seek out. I went into, like in your case or my case, you can easily seek unemployment, go ask for any help, but our immigrant community can't do that. They are left without a job. Their childcare has become a problem since schools are shut down. They don't have the resources for childcare. So that has really impacted our immigrant community.
Elizabeth, on the student side of things, are the problems similar there since this pandemic started?
At the beginning, yes. I think schools have done their part and have really been able to bridge the access gap at this point by providing devices like how the local school district was doing, and then also at Wenatchee Valley College where I attend, they're offering printing access and mailing, and definitely easier than what our immigrant community may face.
So Elizabeth, among people of your age who are from immigrant families, oftentimes there's one person, the youngest person, who is kind of like an interface to the English-speaking world, who will be at the doctor's office with the parent and so forth. Is that your experience? I mean, are you having to guide your family through health-related matters during the pandemic?
I haven't had to support anyone from my family directly, but community members who I have a kind and open relationship with have reached out to me asking me hey, I want to go into the clinic. Do I just go in or do I have to call, or what's the protocol? In that sense, I think people of Hispanic origin here are definitely having to guide their elders through this.
So our goal is to provide some financial assistance. Obviously, we can't provide, the whole, everything they need, but some, enough for them to get gas, for transportation, for groceries, Like I said, many of our immigrant communities are left with unemployment, so anything little helps. So our goal is to at least put groceries food on their table. As of right now, we have helped a total of 35 families. To each family, we give out 100 to 200, depending on the situation, family size, We're currently working with 18 different families at the moment that we should be giving extra funding today. So it's just helping putting groceries, gas, paying any cell phone bills, anything they need.
Time now for a check of your North Central Washington weather forecast. Hope you all had a great weekend. Kind of a mixed bag, wasn't it, over the weekend? Rainy, a little bit windy on Saturday, some more breezy conditions yesterday. But as we look outside our weather window to start our work week on Monday, a beautiful one out there. Clouds have been rolling in this afternoon. A weak cold front's moving through, bringing us those clouds, but a beautiful shot as we look down at the upper Wenatchee Valley around Cashmere, and things greening up beautifully up that way. We did pick up a little rain, so that helped green things up as well, and maybe a little bit more on the way. We'll talk about that in a second. But high temperature today, got it at 63 right here, and right after we built that almanac map, it jumped up to 65, so 65 now will be our unofficial high temperature. 68 is normal for this time of year, so pretty much where we should be for this time of year. 39 was our low this morning. A little bit chilly, wasn't it? 45 is normal. Our record high, 89 degrees. That was set back in 1966. Record low, 32, and that was set back in 1962. This wasn't today, but this was over the weekend. 11/100ths of an inch of rain on Saturday, so that gets our total now since January 1st to only 1.81 inches. That's still 1.20 inches behind where we should be for this time of year. Sunrise this morning, 5:39, and the sun will set tonight at 8:17. Let's take a look and see how your Tuesday weather is going to shape up, and I'll tell you, it's going to be a beautiful Tuesday, the day before the storm. We'll talk about that in a second. But temperatures on the nice side tomorrow, 75 in Moses Lake, middle 70s to lower 70s for Quincy and Ephrata. We'll see about 71 in the Wenatchee area tomorrow, so quite a warm up for us as we get into Tuesday. 71s as well for Eniat and Chelan, and for you folks up in Omak. Taking a look at that surface loop tonight, we expect mostly cloudy skies. I mentioned a quick moving cold front is sliding through the state. That'll bring us some light wind tonight and those mostly cloudy skies. It will stay on the mild side, though, and may kick off a few widely scattered showers into western Washington. As we get into Tuesday, we will be talking mostly sunny skies. It will be calm for Tuesday and a little bit warmer. Notice a ridge of high pressure is beginning to build up and over Washington state. In fact, the Tri-Cities on Tuesday, upper 70s. As we get into Wednesday, boy, watch out for a wide area of very windy conditions. We could see gusts up to 32 miles an hour on Wednesday, a 60% chance of rain. You can see most of Washington inundated with some kind of moisture, so it'll be a wet and windy day on Wednesday, and then things get better on Thursday. In fact, the start of a nice warming trend as we get into Thursday with lots of clear skies, and here's that ridge all the way up and over us into British Columbia, and that will make for a beautiful end of our work week. Friday, expect sunny skies and warmer weathers. Our flow becomes more westerly as we get into Friday. We'll see temperatures on Friday pretty much in the lower to mid 70s, but boy, will we warm up nicely as we get into Saturday. We're going to talk temperatures of 80 degrees here in north central Washington, lower to mid 80s down in the Tri-Cities as high pressure rules our weather as we get into Friday and throughout the upcoming weekend. And then on Sunday, mostly sunny, still warm. Here's our ridge bringing all that warmth up to us from the south. We're talking highs on Sunday. Once again, upper 70s to lower 80s. Let's take a look now and we'll narrow it down for you in that Patriot Plumbing, Heating and Cooling 7-day forecast. 47 tonight, 71 tomorrow. Get outside and enjoy yourselves if you can, because a little dip in our forecast on Wednesday. We'll see breezy conditions, a 60% chance of rain, and 64. But look at these temperatures as we make our way into the end of the week. 70 on Thursday, 76 Friday, and how about that weather for the weekend? Saturday and Sunday, sunny to mostly sunny skies, 80 on Saturday and 81 degrees as we get into Sunday. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
It's estimated that 1/3 of Americans do not have a financial plan. At D.A. Davidson, their advisors are working to change that because they understand the importance of planning for the future. At D.A. Davidson, they believe in partnering together to build a strategy tailored to your needs. They spend the time and have the knowledge to help keep your financial future on track. Let D.A. Davidson Financial Advisors of Wenatchee put the strength of advice to work for you. Aging and Adult Care offers many in-home care options and services for seniors and family caregivers. But did you know they also offer free in-home delivered meals? Aging and Adult Care has expanded its program for home-delivered meals to help elderly and vulnerable adults at this challenging time. If you are in need of prepared meals or know someone who could benefit, call Aging and Adult Care for more information about free home-delivered meals. Call 509-886-0700.
This is Caitlin Hedershe, the producer of the NCWLIFE magazine. Each week, I'm bringing you a look behind the scenes of the faces, places, and events that make North Central Washington the place we call home. Tune in every weekday for an in-depth look at a new topic each week. From local artists in their studios to businesses breaking barriers that might surprise you and everything in between. Join me on the NCWLIFE magazine right here on the NCWLIFE channel.
And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a happy Monday to you, staying home and staying healthy. Eric Granstrom on the NCWLIFE channel. Sports lost one of its greatest coaches today. Don Shula passed away at the age of 90. Shula won an NFL record 347 games. In his career, he coached 33 seasons, 26 of which in Miami. Of course, he coached the Dolphins to the league's only undefeated season at 17-0 in 1972. So I thought I would let NFL Films tell the story of that perfect season for Coach Shula.
Arrowhead Stadium was the scene of the opener. Don Shula had set a single goal for the new season: to get his team in the Super Bowl and win it. Beating the Chiefs in their new stadium would be the first step. The irony of opening in Kansas City was apparent to all, especially Don Shula. For this was a rematch of 1971's Christmas Day playoff in football's longest game. Yarrow Yepremian's field goal in sudden death overtime had beaten the Chiefs and propelled the Dolphins into the Super Bowl. Now, as the Dolphins began the 72 schedule, all the psychological advantages belonged to the favored Chiefs. But Bob Greasy passed to an old target, Paul Warfield, and a new one, Marlon Briscoe, to lead the offense to 2 touchdowns. Miami's famous no-name defense was superb, stopping the Chiefs' running game, shutting off their big threat Otis Taylor, and harassing Len Dawson throughout the game. Miami's dominance was so complete, they held Kansas City without a touchdown until only 9 seconds remained. Miami had easily thwarted the revenge-minded Chiefs 20-10. For the Miami Dolphins, the Super Bowl was an entire season in one game. They were not about to lose it. Bob Greasy hit on 6 of 6 passes in the first half and threw to Howard Twilley for the game's first score. The rest of the Super Bowl served as a showcase for the Dolphins' variety of talents. The Dolphin defense was the real story of this game, stopping Larry Brown cold. Jake Scott was named Most Valuable Player for his 2 interceptions. And Manny Fernandez had the kind of a day a defensive lineman dreams about, as the no-name defense completely controlled the game. So playing an almost perfect football game in a perfect season, the Miami Dolphins were world champions. Only 7 years since Joe Robbie was granted a franchise in the old AFL, Miami not only won the Super Bowl, but had gone an entire season undefeated. A feat no other NFL team in history has accomplished. As the triumphant Miami Dolphins returned from Super Bowl VII, a throng of thousands gave a winner's welcome to the team, Coach Don Shula, and owner Joe Robbie.
This is the Vince Lombardi Trophy for the winner of the Super Bowl.
Don Shula, dead at the age of 90. Here's what's coming up on the NCWLIFE sports schedule this week. It begins tomorrow night with Big Nine Wrestling as Wenatchee hosts Eastmont from December of 2017. This is the match where my dad joins me on the broadcast starting at 7 o'clock. We'll be back with BCHL playoffs and that magical run for the Wenatchee Wild in 2018 on Hockey Night Thursday. Tune in at 7 o'clock for a thriller overtime game between Wenatchee and the Vernon Vipers. We're featuring Wenatchee Apple Sox baseball Friday night at 6:30 last July in a game between the Sox and the Bellingham Bells. Then on Saturday, the early start at 2 o'clock is girls basketball. Eastmont and Rogers of Puyallup from the NCW Basketball Showcase. That was at the Town Toyota Center in December of 2017. That's followed by the Big Nine football matchup in October of 2018 between Eastmont and Sunnyside. That'll kick off at 6:30. That's what's happening in sports. I'm Eric Granstrom. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much, Eric. And as we leave you tonight, it was back for at least one day. Cruising returned to the Avenue in Wenatchee on Saturday. More than 100 vehicles made the procession up and down Wenatchee Avenue on the day when the 2020 Apple Blossom Grand Parade was to have been held. Cruising, once a major part of Apple Blossom festivities, was banned years ago. But with COVID-19 shutting down all festival activities, police officers merely observed and sometimes honked as drivers paid tribute to the festival. Miss Vidal flew high above the event in its own tribute. And remember, if you have a video of the day that you'd like to see here on the NCWLIFE Evening News, just message us on our Facebook page at the NCWLIFE channel. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us and have a great night.
With TV advertising, what we want to do is more deeply connect with the community.
People spot me in different parts around North Central, Costco and Wenatchee, say, hey, you're the pizza guy. And so they wouldn't know that if it weren't for the TV commercials we've done.
We've been here so long that people already know who we are and what we do, but to have that image flash on their television screen as opposed to just hearing it in the radio or seeing it in the newspaper, I just love the fact that we can actually put our finger on when a customer comes in and says, I saw your ad.
It's becoming increasingly difficult in this digital age to know where are your customers listening or watching, because I watch all the different channels that they watch too, like Cooking Channel, History Channel, and so it was wonderful to be able to be on there.
I would say that if you want to do business in Wenatchee, then you should connect with the people of Wenatchee, and there's no better way to do that than with NCWLIFE.
Do you have a fun or interesting video you'd like to see featured here on the NCWLIFE channel? It's easy. All you have to do is send us an email at newsphotos@ncwlife.com.